This station rules the nation. Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. This station rules the nation. Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia.
Oh, yeah. It's great to be back. Back on a Wednesday. It's midweek. Good morning. Welcome to the TBS, the True Breakfast Show on 96.1 megahertz on the FM band. And we are to serve you breakfast for now straight up to 10 o'clock this morning on your most trusted frequency, Truth FM. Good morning to the folks in Nima County. Truth 96.9. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. The love of liberty matters, yeah. Let justice be done to all. When you wake up in the morning, think positive of your country. And this morning, making 1 million friends is not a miracle. The miracle is to make such a friend who can stand with you when millions are against you. And this one is from Bobby Addison. Bobby is bereaved, and I want to sympathize with our dear friend and brother Bobby Bleedy Addison for the loss of their brother on yesterday. Adieu, Augustine Addison. Sometimes we don't understand how the earth works. I want to say my sympathy, Bobby Addison. So good morning, folks. Good morning to the peace-loving people of the Republic of Liberia. The love of liberty matters here. This is O.Roberts. This is Marka B.Davis, running straight up to 10 o'clock this morning. Good morning, His Excellency President George Weah. And on today, the President-led Ambassador Joseph Human Boyka will be certificated by the National Elections Commission this morning at 11 o'clock. And I'd like to say good morning to the folks at the National Elections Commission, Darietta Brown, the Board of Commissioner. Good morning, yes. Good morning. Compliments of the season to all of you. Good morning, Marka. Yeah, man, this is not a kind of expression I don't want to see on your face. The men's level occur. Yeah, the phone's still off.
Yeah, it's not easy.
How many percent? 2%. Yes, 2% of the budget.
Yeah.
2% of your phone budget will be sent to David Coty Pro budget. Yes. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Onu, and good morning to all of our followers this morning. And let me join Onu to say, extend my condolences to the Addison family for the loss of your brother. Bobby, sorry, take heart. You know, I've been through this a couple of times in recent years. So we're sorry for your loss and take heart, bro. And also to the family. Yes, again, we are here. But again, on a side note, a lot of negative things, especially with that incident in Bond County.
District 6.
Wow. Yeah.
Total time, man.
Yeah, so folks, we are here again to serve you breakfast up to 10 o'clock this morning. It's great for us to be here. Good morning to our people across the country, my good friend and brother, William Johnson, Encyclopedia, Nema County. Good morning to you and all of the folks who are following us from outside.
Yes.
Only know one minute from outside.
Super quality, but we're the number one man there. But always. Peter Pan Tobe, good morning. So this morning I woke up with this book.
Okay.
Yes, I woke up with this book. Liberia, what do we go from here?
Okay.
Yes. Look, if you want to have something in the home, just put money in the book. The children won't find it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to say this. This cut across the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
If you had something in the home, just put the money in the book.
Yeah.
The book will just be there. So I woke up to this book and Liberia. Where do we go from here? The author here is Dr. Paul. Remember who hosted him from the US?
Yes, I remember.
Yes. So I'm going to take less than 24 hours to complete this book. Liberia, what do we go from here?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the reason why I laid my hand on this book. Anyway, yes, let's see what we have this morning. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, I'm going to say the other gadget, and you just go straight through it. Yeah. Good morning, folks. Yes, the TBS 96.1.
Emergency.
Yeah, the emergency. Good morning, His Excellency President George. We issued a memo yesterday, executive memo, that no government official should sign anything above 10,000. Mm-hmm. You're doing it on your own race. Yeah, anything above 10,000 should pass through the office of the president.
It should be approved.
Approved
by the office of the president.
So less than 5K can be sound.
Yeah.
Quick impact project. Yeah, let's all have this one on the TBS.
Yeah, so this morning, as usual, we will take the health tips with David Coty for 5 minutes this morning. Yes, again, politics enters the LFA with Mustafa Raji, the president, through the court seeking the arrest of former LFA Secretary General Azim Montgomery. Onu knows more about
politics are entered like Bro Football Association.
Yes, and social media sharing a video scene. The president-elect Joseph Boaka sharing chewing gum.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, and again, the issue at the legislature, especially with the speaker and his deputy. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, the deputy speaker responded through a press conference to the claims by the speaker concerning being compromised, especially with conflict of interest, as lawmaker and deputy speaker representing companies as their lawyer. Mm-hmm. I mean, the speaker talked about that, but the deputy speaker came out yesterday at a major press conference to say that these claims are not true and that he had never represented any of these entities at the legislature. Mm-hmm. And also the Liberia Rebuilding Party on yesterday suspended its standard bearer, Councillor Luther Yoffe. We hope to speak with him live this morning via mobile. Coming up at 8:40 to 9 this morning, we'll talk to your leader segment. We'll open the lines for you to have interaction with us here this morning. 9 o'clock, sports, entertainment, and commercials with our prime sponsor, Orange Liberia, the biggest GSM company in the country. And at 9:15 to 10 o'clock, again, we'll play host to Emmett Cooper, a security expert in the United States, to talk more about our security situation in Liberia, share his experience. And yes, you know, sincerely, a lot of Liberians who are outside of the country will look for opportunity also to see how they can form part of the development of the country. So it's obvious when you are playing for a club team out of the country, you are praying, God, can the national team just call me?
And the interview last time with him, it was excellent.
Yes, sure.
I received lots of calls for those in the security network, and would love to hear. So we want you to listen up at 9:15, straight up to 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes, we'll have another interview with him again this morning on the TBS. In the midst of all country first, and that is the lineup.
The lineup, yes. Let's have help tip this morning with David Ernest Coty. Yes, the most regular job since leaving government. Very active of the job. We don't need David to even call him. So now, as we speak, we have David Coty.
David even takes this health tip issue more than the Flashpoint show.
You doing? David, is that true?
I'm not even hearing it. You know, each time I go through, I put the radio about. Please repeat.
I said you are most committed to this job, and you take it very seriously compared to the Flashpoint show.
Hey, you loud. Flashpoint is where I get all my information from.
Okay.
Because over there, I've invited more than 15 medical doctors. Even on OKFM, I have another one there on every Monday, and I've invited many medical doctors. So I learn from these people. So it just, yeah. I love this other one here. The other pro bono one. I like it.
Not the Robert said it pro bono at no car. Just go ahead.
I was millions of dollars going to my pocket to my pro bono. Yeah. That one is different.
Go ahead.
Today, I want to talk about very serious disease that many people are living with unknown to themselves. It is called hepatitis B. It is a very serious disease that you may be living with unknown to you. Hepatitis B is a common liver disease caused by the hepatitis B virus. About 240 million people around the world are living with hepatitis B, and 700,000 people die each year with issues relating to hepatitis B, like liver cancer. Now, this disease actually attacks the liver. And tomorrow, like I told you yesterday, I have all my tips listed. Every day I grab one. For example, today, by the time I drop the phone, I'm going to do all my research on the liver. The liver is the largest organ in the body, and it weighs 3.1 pounds. And it's very, very important because it works 24 hours around the clock every day. And when it stops working, you will collapse. So I forgot something quickly. Let me join you, O'Neill and Marka, in extending my deepest condolences to my good and old friend, Bobby Allison, on the death of his brother. We've been friends for more than 20 years now, old friend of mine. All right, now, I will only emphasize one more thing here quickly. I have always told you about early detection, and I want you to take it very seriously. If maybe about 10% that I know about have been to hospitals in Liberia, and the doctors here said we can't make it. And those people have been taken abroad, Ghana, India, America, and all kinds of places, even South Africa. And when they get there, the doctors will say it is too late. And those people don't come back the way they went. They come back as cargo. So my advice to you, this early morning warning I normally gave you about early detection, please take it seriously. And today, after we get through talking, go to the hospital and get yourself tested for hepatitis B, or else it will eat your liver up and you will be finished. All right, now, remember this. Stop eating every minute. There's some of you, every minute, every 10 minutes, color in your mouth, kaya in your mouth, even potato and all, you want to eat it every minute. You got to stop. It takes the body 3 to 4 hours to digest your food properly. When you eat your breakfast, for example, this morning around 8 o'clock, you should please wait for 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. But maybe around 2 hours, you can take a little snack, some little small, but not after 10 minutes donut. After 15 minutes color, it is not good for your digestive system. So I want to advise you to stop eating every minute. Don't be an eating machine. And you must always stop eating 4 hours before bedtime. Take it serious. Like for me, I told you, I go to bed 10:30 every night. I don't miss that because I know the importance of sleeping for 8 hours. So what I do, all my eating I have to do, I do about 6 o'clock. After that, my friend, only water I can drink. So practice it. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. Yes, there I want to embarrass you before leaving the show this morning. I don't know whether it's an embarrassment or what.
What is that?
Yes, I saw something trending on the social media. So normally, after making friends, you close to the president, so you don't visit them anymore in why out of leadership. Is that true?
No, that's not true. That's not true. When President Taylor left power, I went all the way to Calabar 2 different times to visit him. During my second trip, Mrs. Joa Howard Taylor was there. At the time, she was senior senator for Bond County. I don't forget my old friends. I visit them. Even when Judy Bryan was in trouble before he was taken to court, I visited him. I don't forget my old friends. No, that's not true. And some people were thinking I went to Calabar to see Taylor for money. How foolish can that be? The man helped me plenty already here. I ate enough from here. Then he went to Calabar in trouble. Then I go there for money? No. In fact, let me inform you. When I went to Calabar, I was already a commissioner at the Governance Commission. At that time, used to be called the GRC. And Ellie Johnson said he was our head. Thank God she's listening. At the time, we're making 2,000 US dollars every month, clean money, very regular, not coming from government. It was an international group, some kind of group that was supporting the commission. So I was already making 2,000 every month. Why going home on my old friend for? The man put good money in my pocket while you were here.
Okay, so what about Ellen? Since leaving power?
No. I've not visited her. No. Since she left power, I have not visited her. And don't ask me why. I got my own time to visit anybody.
Okay, President, we will be out by January 22nd.
Uh-huh.
Will you pay a visit quickly?
Well, my man, my battery low. Bye-bye.
Yes. Anyway, difficulty with our health tip is good right here on the True Breakfast Show 96.1. So before we get the ball rolling, the newspaper, bulk of them, we won't see them until next year.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been calling lots of editors, and I made it clear, say yes, we go through a lot. To publish is not easy. Yeah, so
and some of these government entities are owing us and they don't want to pay.
Yeah, so
we're still struggling.
I told Alfonso twice, I just do one headline. Say final ministry, pay all print media, and he laugh about it. So, Marka, I want you to go through this release from the executive mansion. That was released on yesterday by His Excellency President George Weah to all government ministry and autonomous agency.
Yes, so it says, given the current financial economic situation of the country, somebody is doing what here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And to safeguard state resources from misuse during this transition period, it has become expedient in the public interest to take some executive measures. Therefore, all government entities, including ministries, agencies, commissions, and state-owned enterprises, are hereby advised to take due cognizance and give effect to the following directives with immediate effect. 1. All borrowings, accumulation of new debts, and repayment of domestic debts, except international borrowings with legislative implications and timeline, are hereby suspended. 2. All expenditures, save for salaries and allowances for daily operations of all government ministries and other government entities in the amount of 10,000 United States dollars and above must be approved by the office of the president. 3. All payment of bonuses, severance allowances, and incentives to members of the board of directors, managing directors, deputy managing directors, and all other officials of similar standing in the employ of state-owned enterprises, commissions, and other autonomous agencies of the government of Liberia must have prior approval by the office of the president. All new employment and service contracts across government institutions are hereby suspended. There shall be no promotions and salaries increase during this transition period. All sales and leases of public land, buildings, and infrastructure are hereby suspended. All new investment incentives and granting of concessions are hereby suspended. No concession. All official travels are suspended, except those approved by the office of the president. A moratorium is placed on the holding of the 2023 National County Sports Meet due to the interlocking schedule of the transition. 9. A moratorium is placed on the sale and illegal conceding of all public vehicles and other government assets and utilities. The Director General of the General Services Agency is mandated to continue the tracking and securing of all government assets accordingly. Oh,
That's all.
okay.
Yeah, signed by the office of the president.
Yes.
Yeah, you see at the end of it, it says
It's
change
a
for
change for hope.
change for hope. Yes, the party is still carrying change
Yeah,
for
change
hope.
for hope.
So all the ushering vehicles, the Freeport River were about to usher vehicles.
Mm.
Yeah, man. So everything is on a standstill.
Yeah, since until after.
Damn, man. The GSA, but Mirror Boy have to be basic right now, tracking
Mhm.
all government vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, lead our power theft team small and return to base.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my bad, basic down there.
Of course.
Anyway, so this coming out from the Liberian Football Association, politics have now entered the LFA. And Mustafa Raji, you know, taking over his first tenure at the Liberian Football Association, everybody saw that, yes, this is the new football. But once the national team is not performing to the expectation of the fans, that's why the pressure go back to the LFA. People even criticize the domestic league, say, well, the league is not up to standard, so our national team won't perform. But now, this is far from it. The deep politics now enter into the Liberal Football Association. This is not good for Mustafa Raji. Politics and football don't mix. This is why you see FIFA most time will suspend the national team or the whole country on a regular basis because of politics within the football game. Health and politics don't mix. Education and politics don't mix. So do football and politics don't mix. But a lot of things happen with. I'm just going to take 2 minutes on there, and maybe next week we'll go more due to this. So this came from Peter Toby, a reporter from the court.
Yeah.
Yes. So because of this, the Sixth Judiciary Circuit Court of Montserrat is seeking the arrest of former LFA Secretary General Isaac Montgomery. Isaac Montgomery in connection to a 25,000 United States dollars.
I'm seeing 250,000.
250,000. That rope can haul robo. There's 250,000 USD action of damage for labor and slander, which was instituted by the president Mustafa Raji against defendant Montgomery. So a lot of things is happening within the LFA. And what are we hearing? Raji is also pushing for a third term.
Okay.
Yes. You see, this is what all this moments in coming up. Your second term, you are not going deep to your second term, and you're looking forward to your third term. Raji, politics and football don't mix. So we're advising you this morning, settle in house, because the media jumping to this, I mean, you won't like it. You started building some mini stadiums around, people hear you and say, yes, the work you have been doing. I mean, if your 2 term elapse, leave it and go. Every single football president, yeah, Musa Belleto of football, Zeta Wesley, all these people have served their term and go, why you want 3 term? So let's hold it for today. Settle in-house, but when it comes to the public, you won't be able to control it, Mr. Mustafa Raji. Because with this information, trust me, as we start to talk, there are lots of other information will be coming up. Even that new building you're constructed there, up to now, people still calling for a full audit as to how much was spent to be constructed at this new LFA, at the LFA. So you're settling in household, when it comes to the public, you'll be able to control it, Mr. Raji. So let's move on. There's a trending video on the social media, and we tend to talk about it. And I'm seeing bloggers and all posting. Good morning to the president, like Joseph Boyka, and that of Katumun. So in a public, I think it was in the church, where you see, you saw the first lady.
I don't know why I haven't seen that video.
You haven't seen it? Your phone been off. You've been having correct. Why you see it? So both of them are sitting, and this. Let me just talk and trash this, because I see no reason why the bloggers are keep pushing this video. What difference will it make if Joe Biden and his wife exchange a chewing gum and you're running with, look, we got serious thing to be thinking about in this country. So Katumu took the chewing gum and passed it over to the president-elect Joseph Boyka. And so the camera is on him, and he took the same chewing gum, and I mean, chew it. Yeah, for me, I say that love. But we have more serious thing to think about in this country. So Joseph Boyka, good morning to you. That tells you, that video you see, let me just put it constructively. That video you see trending, that tells you that the expectation for Liberians is so hard on you, Joseph Boyka. Just for you and your wife to exchange, not many couples will do that. It takes only for your mom and send them to me and put it in my own. I mean, they could know how that kind of experience. That tells you Liberians are watching and needs you to perform. That's my own interpretation. So today, you are going to be certificated by the National Elections Commission. Liberians John Marka and Joseph Boyka will be at the National Elections at 11 o'clock this morning. And we don't want to play overcrowded. Campaign is far done. Folks within the Unity Party, His Excellency is going to be certificated on today. We want to have a formal program. Now what Marka experienced at the RIA. Yes.
Yes, exactly. I think again, why the presidential protocol or the protocol around the president there. I think the National Elections Commission also has its own protocol because this is their event, this is their occasion, this is what they do with the authority given to them by the Constitution. So I think they will have to, put in place their protocols, because what happened at the airport when the president-elect came in country, I think it was a disorganized protocol. I still believe that the president-elect was at risk with what happened over there
on Sunday.
Yes, when he came back from the States. So I think similar things should not be repeated. I think the protocol should improve so that we can see that same thing that happened at the airport, where people were struggling, shoving each other, who would take picture, who would not take picture. While the media people are trying to take photos and videos for maybe news purpose and other things, the citizen journalists are not given chance. Everybody, citizen journalists.
Okay, citizen journalists.
Everybody want to take photo on their phone. The partisans, the party executives. I mean, that was so disorganized. I continue to say that. I hope we will not see that today at the National Elections Commission.
Yeah.
Okay. You have played your part during the period of the campaign. You went to the ballot and voted. In fact, throughout the night, you stayed out to protect your vote. That was laudable. Now you have made Mr. Boakai president. Just sit down, support him, whatever way you can do, and let him move. This popularity contest thing we've talked about for the past 6 years, I think the UB people want to bring it back.
Yeah.
The popularity contest where everywhere the leader go, all the partisans want to show up to show their face and all of that. I think we should start to do things differently.
I think it's tough time.
You start to do
President George, we are so
you got to start to do things differently.
Yeah.
As soon as the president going somewhere, everybody getting BB buses and going there while they have nothing to do there. At the end of the day, they're looking for people to get in transportation to go back home. Just stop that thing there, please. Yes, please. Just stop that thing there.
It's true.
Yes, just stop it.
True. So
this is a reserved. We believe that this is a reserved leadership. Like the president-elect even said, the inauguration is going to be modest. In his words, he said modest. That means it will not be elaborate. It will not be elaborate. There are big, huge celebration. He said no. It will be, a little organized inauguration.
Great.
Because they don't want to spend too much money, while looking at the way the economy looks. So please, partisans of the Unity Party, we know you love the president-elect, but please, you have already played your part by campaigning and voting and protecting your vote. He's going to be certificated on today. He'll be inaugurated on the 22nd of January next year. Sit down and support the president the way you can do it for the government to succeed. Don't be in boss going anywhere the president go and be, crowding up the places and sometimes breaching protocols and all of that in the name of party loyalty or love for president or love for leader.
Yeah.
Please, this is the same thing you said for the past 6 years. Don't bring the same thing yet.
Yeah, so we've been monitoring live in Vonja, man.
Okay.
Our radio, Truth FM Radio travels, man.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Selle is all the way in Vonja, man.
Oh, wow.
Yes, monitoring Truth FM live in Vonja, man.
Okay. That's great.
That's great. Great.
But we've always said this, though.
It's the biggest.
The only thing is that sometimes most of the folks will want to listen to the local
radio station.
There. That's all. Not that the signal is not there. The signal is there. Yeah, that's why it is.
Great. So let's move on to the one. I intend playing this audio, the two audios.
Okay.
One have to do with Speaker Buffer Chambers.
What do you mean by you intend? Say you will play it. Let it see that you intend.
All right, I will do so.
Yes.
I'm going to play the audio from Speaker Buffer Chambers accusing his deputy of undermining him.
And deputy coming in defense.
Yeah, deputy will come in defense as well. Yeah, look, the race, the election for the speakership is January 15. Yes, January 15. They have to usher in the president to the 22nd of the election.
Exactly.
So let's play. Then we'll have our own analysis.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll let you those fanatical. Good morning to you, Nafwedi. Yes. Funati, you had a good press conference yesterday. But we'll have our own analysis on it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's listen to Buffer Chambers. These two people are from the CDC.
Yeah.
The Coalition for Democratic Change, lawmakers.
Mm-hmm.
Speaker and deputy never saw eye to eye. Can you imagine this?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's imagining that if Joseph Boyka takes seats now, will his speaker be from the opposition or from the ruling party? Then will he be successful to audit? Start to think about it. But let's play Buffer Chambers' voice first. Then we'll come back with Fernando Kofa, a press conference yesterday. Look, there's Speaker Chiba accusing his deputy.
Democratic to take any individual, wherever that person comes from, because we have a constitutional issue that states that a person that works in one branch of government cannot work in another branch of government. So, in the first place, we have somebody who has been compromised. The current deputy speaker, who wants to be speaker, at the point where it is believed that he has been rushing in People's Local District to disturb, to undermine, to deconstruct what has been built liberally by the people of People's Local District, has already been compromised because it is, common knowledge that he is the lawyer for the Central Bank of Liberia. You cannot be a lawmaker and become a Central Bank of Liberia lawyer. You cannot be a lawmaker and become a lawyer for Maritimes. He is a lawyer of Maritimes. You cannot be a deputy speaker or a lawmaker and also become a lawyer for the LTE, Liberian Telecommunications Authority. So there are so many things that are happening. He being a lawmaker at the same time, a lawyer for B Mountain and lawyer for Solway. These are things that have conflict of interest because at the end of the day, you will have to have that oversight and you have to represent the people well in the process of bringing these people to book. But with your involvement with them, it will defeat the purpose of overseeing what should be done right. So in the first place, it's wrong because I have personally advised the deputy speaker, and I cannot be the one to go and bring complaint on the floor against him. I advised him, and he has not taken my advice. So I think in my mind, except he changes, but he will not be, right for the office at the moment until perhaps he can solely reflect and do the needful, meaning that he got to give out all of the interest he has in those private institutions and also the institution of government. In the first place, government does not even have enough resources. I think when we come back, we'll look at the fact of the Ministry of Justice taking over all of these various entities, government entities.
Okay, so that is his boss, Meno. Your boss. Let's listen to the deputy. The boss have accused the deputy. Let's listen to the deputy response. They will come back.
This issue because it goes into the 55th in my leadership. There's not a day I have gone to the speaker, I have gone to any colleague, or that have gone on the floor to represent any interest other than the interest of Grand Group. I have not represented as a lawyer any company in this building. In instances, and there were two, B Mountain being one, where a lawyer does represent B Mountain at my firm. When their issue came up, I did not attend session. I was simply not there. If you look at Rule 45 of our rules, it calls for us to step aside when these conflicts exist. I have never, so I don't know where that came from, never one day stood as a lawyer for any interest here. Hasn't happened. If I represented these institutions, I will retire because I'll be very rich. The answer is no. Let me give you my history of practice law here. The International Law Group was founded in 2002. I went to the States. I resumed active practice in 2009 at the International Law Group. The concept was, okay, you have all these good lawyers representing all these great corporations. It's about time government parastaticals, okay, had good lawyers too. So I started to build a practice around representing government institutions, Maritime, CBL, and others. In 2016, Madam Sharif appointed me as Minister of State. I immediately resigned as managing partner of the International Law Group. I gave my shares in trust to one of my partners. Okay. Since then, I have not been in the active practice of law. I don't have clients. So if I left the firm and they had maybe maritime and others, they would have continued. But when I checked with the firm recently, they no longer represent maritime. They no longer represent any of the institutions the speaker talked about, with the exception in labor cases at the CBL and LPRC. They have never represented NASCO. We have never represented ArcelorMittal. We have never represented HPX. We have never represented NPA. We have never represented the panoply of institutions that have been alleged to have represented. I can remember only one incident where on the floor, Firestone was there, and I was advising the speaker on procedural matters. And the speaker asked me, "Do you represent Firestone?" And we both laughed. I said, "No, Mr. Speaker, I don't represent them."
Yes. Look, this thing before the election will go deep into it because some of us started to receive some communication we've seen. Yeah. But let me recognize the text messages that come in easy. Jacobson Colley, listening well in Vonjama. Yes, it's they're listening by radio.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
they're
good.
so concerned what is happening with speakership. Yes,
You know,
Mhm.
the speakership election is one of highly political election because the people you are going to be campaigning to are rational people. They are not the ordinary voters that you carry back arrest to or you go give them stories. I think they will. They are people with huge sense of reasoning, and sincerely, with no sincerely, this issue is very critical, and I want to speak to my representative, Mr. Ta Wungwe, to really look between the lines when it comes to you. That you can talk to your own representative.
Who to vote for? No, I want to do my analysis. That representative who this thing, I don't know. Back at the way the thing is going now, with the boss and the deputy. Yes, and the two of you, Beaufort Chambers and Fonanti Kofa, right? This have come to the public, and the public needs to know. The boss, Marka is the head of the newsroom, and with Marka point his finger on as the deputy, this man is the cause of the news now going on New Year Day after you finish enjoying. He said, my immediate deputy is the one who was responsible that the news didn't go through. So why would he say that the man is the boss? Because you know all of the men in and out. But here is it. Unity Party has said one of its priority will be to audit the outgoing government. I've listened to Beaufort Chambers and I've listened to Fonanti Kofa. The both of them. I'm just trying to do my own analysis now. You can come in. The UP has said one of its priority will be to audit the outgoing government. This was one of the reasons the UP got the mandate of the Liberian people by voting majority. The voter majority, yes, that this government will audit the outgoing. CDC didn't audit the Unity Party. So Joseph Boyka and his people say, well, we'll do this. So Liberians say, oh, yes, we need this. Some of the folks in the CDC term this as a witch hunt. There are some. There are others who will welcome, oh, your auditing is good. If you give me money to spare and someone who can fast check me, it's not about, it should be a witch hunt. In order to have all government institutions audited, the express will of the legislature must be guaranteed first. You cannot have a member of the CDC serving as speaker, and you expect Joseph Boyka government to be successful and say, let audit the past government. It's not going to work. This is impossible. Kofa press conference on yesterday. Fonanti Kofa, because we listen to Beaufort Chamber, the speaker have said Fonanti is a lawyer of maritime, he's a lawyer of the CBL, and so forth. I saw a communication from Liska. I will share it with you. I'm saying that rope can hold rope. Yes, maybe one will save it maybe for tomorrow or Monday. I saw a communication like from Liska. Kofa press conference yesterday speaking to variety of issues, focusing on his role if he's elected as speaker. He was asked why you want to be speaker, Mr. Deputy. Oh, John Colley, good morning. That's why we're all crying for this debate. Fonanti was asked yesterday why you want to be speaker. In his response, you know what the deputy speaker said? In life, we progress. I'm quoting him words by words. I said, listen to the thing keenly. Why would you want to be speaker? In Fonanti response, In life, we progress. We came to this institution. We came with a school of ladies and gentlemen. We worked for 6 years together. That's the reason why you won't be speaker. We worked for 6 years together. So they have confidence of my leadership. For nothing, you and Buffer never saw eye to eye in our house. The deputy and the boss. We cannot have a speaker. That press conference, you have almost all the media institution. You didn't tell the Liberian the roadmap as to why they should what? The colleague should vote you as speaker. You said that the deputy speaker is like the vice president. I mean, those of you who followed that into that press conference. So, Fonanti said he was packed, like Joseph Boyka said he was packed with Ellen Johnson Sally for 12 years. And that's not true, Fonanti. That's not true. The role of the deputy speaker, you are an ex-official on every committee in the House. So how can you link the deputy speakership to that of the vice president? You can remember when in town, most people will say, Boyka, you were packed for 12 years, like an old car. So Fonanti said he was just like the vice president, back. And this is not true, Fonanti. No personal hate against you, but you know you are deputy speaker. You are serving as an ex-official on every committee. There is no argument on the floor that you want to inject and have your opinion. The speaker will sanction you. No way, Fonanti. So with this issue, as a close-up, of you providing legal assistance, we're starting to see some communications coming out. We'll wait and we'll have all in detail to tell Liberian people why. If this is it, they should elect you as speaker. This is what made John Colley Duke debate. I think it was necessary, Marka. That's my own thought on it.
Okay. Okay. Again, let me repeat that we do not have the voting right, but we will look at all of the critical issues coming up in these elections. All geared towards having a leadership in a country that will stand for the interests of the Liberian people. The issue of interest and conflict of interest, sometimes it is hard to divorce, because if your firm, you say, oh, you gave your share out to one of your partners, does that still take away your interest from that firm? Does that still take away your interest? It doesn't. Does that still take away the fact that your firm is still providing legal services to the Central Bank of Liberia and LPRC? Does that take away your interest? No. Your interest is still there. Now, you mentioned in our press conference also that when companies that you have interest in, when they appear before the legislature, you left, you didn't go to section that day. That is in your capacity as deputy speaker or maybe as a lawmaker. But will you recuse yourself as speaker? You see that?
Take for example, you bring Western Cluster.
Will you recuse yourself as speaker? The day Western Cluster appears, the day Central Bank appears as speaker, will you recuse yourself? Because you should be the presiding. You should be the presiding. The day Governor Aloysius Talu appear before the legislature, before the House, as Speaker of the House, will you step aside again?
Not possible.
So that means most of the time you'll be stepping aside, if that is even possible. But so you see, in my opinion, you cannot rule out this interest thing. It is difficult. So in several of these cases, Chief, the conflict will be there. The conflict will be there. It's hard to divorce this conflict. Yes. So what we want to say is that this thing is left with, and again, let me say this. This is my clear opinion. It is not bad to have a balanced government. It is not bad to have the speaker coming from the opposition, the deputy coming from the ruling party or whatever. It could be a balanced government, fine. But we are looking at whether the persons vying for this seat is someone who can work independently. Because if, for example, you have linked to all of these state enterprises or government entities and even concession companies and all of that, how do you effectively perform your oversight, Mr. Speaker, if you become? How? So the issue of oversight will be, in my opinion, compromised.
Okay.
Compromised, because there is no way that you have a link with maybe B Mountain, and then there are
you can preside
violations of the mineral development agreement, and then you want to call them to book, and you have that interest how will you preside? Will you recuse yourself again, like you said you did before, when people you had interest in, when they came to the legislature, you didn't go to work? Will you not go to work as speaker when some of these institutions that you are linked to appear as part of your oversight responsibility? Will you recuse yourself? So I mean, this is critical to think about. But the ball is in the course of our representatives. That's why I point the finger at my own lawmaker, Tawumbe, from District Number 9, Nima County. Okay. And also Dawan Glikia from District 6, that's my Montana district.
So all the Nima lawmakers.
By extension,
Musa Benedict.
Yeah. Yes, by extension, I mean all of the lawmakers, the members of the caucus of NIMBA. I think you got to look at this thing critically, very critically.
And Liberians, I know how you can think, right? No personal hate will Fonante.
No.
Want a better speaker. That's all we're saying. I mean, you've been following this network from day number one. The deputy speaker opinion cannot be sanctioned by the speaker. So that's why I'm trying to go back and see some videos, well, buffer in section and see Fonante playing that kind of supportive role. I'm still yet to find even 3 or 4 videos of that.
Have you seen one?
I've not seen one. When you see buffer chamber is on, you can call it by a disturbing section. Richard Cohen trying to calm down, Kara's going so, and you see Fonante trying to kind of situation. I haven't seen it. So yesterday you had a chance to tell Liberian people the roadmap to the speakership. But with these issues, and meaning that your boss may have lied on you. This is it. That's what Fonante said, that buffer chambers have lied on him that he is the lawyer of these various government institutions. And that is the case, is conflict of interest. Yeah.
Let me just give you a small example of this whole interest thing. Onyu, there will always be an interest with your ex.
Okay. Relationship in it.
Yeah, that's just small example. So don't this person and you have that friendship, that cordiality before.
Let's put that party level.
Whatever happen and something happen or separate, there's still an interest there. You will protect that person in the public, certain places you will provide for them. That is true, right? You provide for them, you protect them at certain places, even though you guys are not in that same relationship again, but you feel somehow attached to that. That interest is still there. So how about you to rule out these interests that have been mentioned here? So I mean, it's just difficult.
And one of the things the deputy speaker said, Emma just reminded me, he traveled to Grand Coup with 27 vehicles. Can you imagine? Leaving from Monrovia to Grand Coup
with 27
vehicles and return with what?
How many registered voters in district? Which district 2 Grand Coup said they passed 30,000?
You travel with Grand Coup, 27 vehicles, and return with 6. Even the joint security, and then we get 1 vehicle.
He flew some of the vehicle back and other were on the ship
to Ivory Coast
on the ship to come back. No, he said he want lawmaker that doesn't use different country border to go to a place.
Okay.
So he carried 27. 6 came by themselves. The others were brought back to Monrovia by ship, and then he flew some to Monrovia also.
Let me deal with Richard Kuhn a little bit, because people feel like we're doing PR for Richard Kuhn. No, you're getting it wrong. I hope you're trying to understand that. We just want a better speaker, that's all. Yes. Prior to that, John Colley had this double debate thing that was coming up, and we were one person who was pushing that all of them need to go for the debate. Before then was Musa Belleter, it was Fonante Kofa and Richard Kuhn. So when we started getting information that Kuhn is not going to show up, as so will Fonante will say, no, this is not good for our country. So, but over the time, Richard Kuhn have said now 20% of the speaker budget will be cut. That Richard Kuhn on a roadmap now.
Yeah.
But Fonante, he had an audience yesterday. You should tell Liberians, man, encourage your lawmakers. So all of the lawmakers who are monitoring us this morning, our foreign partners watching this speakership debate thing, as who you are going to elect as your speaker. Don't think our international donors, they are abreast of everything that is happening in this country. Yes. And everything with the following it, who you are going to elect as your next speaker. The roadmap to the speakership on the 15th of January, those who you have voted for, they're going to make that decision.
So to close up on them from my side, let me say again to members of the incoming 55th legislature, you saw the way the 2023 election went. There were parties that had the money, they had the material, they had the barracks. Some parties had vehicles, they had a means to carry people everywhere. Even some candidates in districts did a lot, but the Liberian people voted the people they had trust in, the people they believe could deliver it. Again, they did not vote because people getting $20 and transported into places and all of that. They did not vote because people getting lapa. They did not vote because people getting buried or other things. No, they voted because they wanted the kind of leaders that would deliver. I'm saying this to members of the incoming 55th legislature. We've always got this rumor that when the speakership election coming, people will go out and be dishing out thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars to members of the legislature to build blocks so that they can win. Let me tell you, the way the people voted in your district, there were people who did more than you. They voted. Some of you didn't even spend up to $10,000 this going election. 5,000 some of you didn't spend because the people trusted some of you and voted for you to make you representatives. Today, you go to that house, the election is coming for the speakership. You go be accepting envelopes with 15,000, 20,000 for you to vote for somebody without critically looking at the implications of what the work the speaker will be doing is like. We are watching also. We are watching also. And if after the election, whoever wins, and depending on your side, how the leadership of the house will go, we will hold you responsible and accountable for your vote. That your one vote, we'll hold you for it, and we will inform your people in your constituents, in your constituency, that you were the reason why things went the way it went in the House of Representatives. So you better vote your conscience. In the speakership election, you better vote your conscience and do not vote for any kind of interest. For any kind of interest. I know there will be promises how somebody will maybe head of the committee, you will head the other committee. With me, you will be the head of on concession, autonomous agency, foreign, and all of these things. Listen, we Liberians want true leadership. Liberians want true leadership. There's no time for this. All these politics where everything people must take something and do something. People must take something and do something. We're not, Liberians are not going for that anymore. You saw on the night of elections, Liberians were outside. When even vehicles are net rented to go for the ballot boxes, they say the vehicle will not trust it, will not carry the ballot boxes until daybreak.
Yeah, so I saw that in Carwell.
You understand? I also saw that in rehab.
Okay. Let me put a prophetic thing behind this. You know, the violence started in heaven, right? There's an old saying, what for you will see your face. No, that thing is not working anymore. The first place to experience violence in the whole world was heaven. Yes. That's it. This time around is violence taken by force. Before then, they'll say, Makaya, wait, what for you will see your face? No! They will never see your face. Those of you listening to us, what for you, that seeking for fighting is no longer existing. When violence erupted in heaven, now it's taken by force. As we close up on this one, why are we speaking? I just received this one. Maybe we'll save this for tomorrow. This is from Liberian Registry, Liberian International Ship and Corporate Registry. They're seeing linking, yes, I mean, let's save this for tomorrow. Yes. We want to know who have a better speaker. That is our whole take. It's not PR for Richard Kuhn. If Richard Kuhn is going to serve Liberian people well, so be it. So, Fanati, I mean, you're a good man. So continue to prove us wrong, prove Liberians wrong, prove your boss and say, well, Bova Chimers, what you said about me is not true. But now, as I'm speaking, this is a communication. I mean, I just got this one. I'm going to go through it. From Liberian Registry, International Ship and Corporate Registry. The road to the speaker share. Ain't easy. Yeah, so before we do the telephone line thing, Library rebuilding party yesterday, and we have to do this. If the Senate Borough who contested on the party ticket would like to call, he can go ahead and do so. Yes, because we tried reaching out to him by all calls. We had it in the news.
My reporter tried to reach out
to him. Yes, by all efforts.
Yes, we could not get him.
Yes, so there is no way you hold Truth FM responsible for this. Councillor Luther Yofi, your party said you are suspended, right? By all means, this is not us. This is your internal party. By all means, we try contacting you. So what I'm hearing, despite the suspension, the matter has already been taken to the court.
Okay.
Yeah, they suspended man and they're taking him to court.
Wow.
That 2-in-1 now. But the funny part about it, Joseph Boyka will be certificated on today. Guess who received the invitation? That is Senate Bearer. The man would have taken the phone. Council, leader vestation thing. Let's hear you this morning.
Please speak to us.
Let's speak to us, man.
Respond to that suspension this morning.
Yeah.
And it will be flagging the news so that
they suspend you, but the invitation you receive for Elections Commission recognizes you that you are going to be at the program to the National Elections Commission. Meanwhile, you got suspended by your party. Let's see. Politicians do have thick skin. Let's see what comes with
that's the other
that thick skin. I had suspended David Coty on the radio. Unity Party expelled David Coty. Yes, great.
For supporting?
So, yes, Councillor Yofi is on the line. So I'm a bit confused here.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see you're suspended this man, but he received the official invitation to go and represent the party today at Joseph Boycott certification program.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the standard bearer of the rebuilding. As far as we're concerned, he's still the standard bearer. So Council Leader Vestation team, good morning. Just turn the radio down. Good morning, Councilor Yofi. Just hold on. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm okay.
Okay. How is the rebuilding party?
Yeah, we are okay and we are doing fine.
Yeah, so we could not get you on yesterday. My reporter tried to get to you. However, what is the response to this action taken by the party?
No party took action against me. We took action against the renegade chairman and his cohort. And they have masquerading around here carrying information that they have suspended me, the standard bearer, which is false. The entire governing council of the party took action against the chairman and his renegade because they failed to carry out the mandate of the party. And let me be very precise and succinct to the issue. We voted unanimously to endorse the Unity Party in the runoff election. The chairman and the youth went ahead because they are better driven. They went ahead and endorsed the PDP because they wanted to get a PDP. But what got us angry about what they did, they went in the name of the party when the party had voted unanimously to endorse the Unity Party. So we didn't want any confusion. We went and endorsed the Unity Party and we waited for the dust to settle. We called them to meetings several times. They refused to show up, and so the governing council of the Library Building Party went ahead to all of those who went against the party around with a press release. And when you analyze that press release, you know it has no substance. How can you say you stand up on the party because you took people out of chat room? That does not sound the reason. But the other reason why we are still there is because when they gave the party a mandate, they were better driven, taking decisions and gave the decision of the executive council of the party.
Okay, so it appears like internal wrangling. So I'm a bit confused here. That's part of suspension letter. They are saying they are also proceeding to the court. How? What is going on?
So you see, that shows you that they are confused and everything they say is false. If the party have suspended me, then why are you going to put the spirit of the party? The actual thing is, but if you even look at the rate they file a rate of colonial restraint. And according to them, they were prevented from entering the premises of the party. Yes, they were prevented because they were all expelled. So if you say suspended me, then why are you running to court? It is because they are all being expelled and they were prevented by the party from having access to the building, and that's the reason why they are running to court.
So you are suspended and you received the official invitation to attend the certification program today at the National Elections Commission with Ambassador Marka.
Indeed, because I am the recognized standard bearer and political leader of the party. I was never suspended. The executive committee of the party came with me. The governing council of the party came with me. I am recognized as the political leader, and that's why I alone was invited to attend that program.
So where do we go from here? It appears back and forth. Who is in charge of the who is in charge of the party headquarters now?
The party headquarters is still in charge of the party. We have our executive committee. We have our governing council that takes decisions according to section 15.3, subparagraph B of the Constitution of the Liberia Party. In between the GEC and session, the governing council takes important decisions. And the entire governing council represented by all chairmen from the Bureau County met and took that decision. So it was not a decision taken by me, it was a decision taken by the governing council of the Liberia Party.
Okay, so you have a very busy, as we close out, you have a very busy day today. 9 o'clock, you'll be at the court. Then 11 o'clock, you'll be at NEC for the program, the certification program of President-elect Joseph Marka. Very busy day for you today.
Yes, it is considered a busy day, but the matter of the court is very simple. Because mind you, I am a lawyer myself, and not just a lawyer, but a senior counselor. All I'm going to do this morning is to dismiss the case before it has no subject. Number one, this is party matter. It should have been complained to the National Election Commission and not to the party. So those who call it themselves counselors and finding trivial issues at the court who are known better to take the matter to net and not to the court. And therefore, we are only going to dismiss the matter this morning because they have no substance and for taking the matter at the wrong venue.
Okay. So we see at NEC at 11 o'clock today. All right. Yes, yes, Councilor Luther Yofi.
Council get this skin.
Yeah, they got this skin. Yeah, that's how politicians supposed to be. You don't keep team forever. Anyway, yes, let's pick the lines up for now, at least for 10-15 minutes. On the TVS this morning, you can speak to any issue we've been discussing. 0770-153-265. Your line is okay. Yes, let's get our first caller, 0770-153-265. This is the Breakfast Show, 96.1 Wednesday morning. O.Roberts, Marka, Davis. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
You live. Go ahead. Good morning.
Oh, okay. Coachy, David Coachy.
Okay.
This issue about the speakership is not just about those who are in the legislature or in the House. No. It affects all of us in the country. Whoever becomes speaker or deputy speaker is our business. If we don't put the right person there, we are in trouble. Now, I want you, the journalists, to please verify what Fanatikova said about not being this and not being a lawyer for this. You need to verify that because we don't want any trouble tomorrow. If it is proven in the future, if we sit here and allow that man to be voted as speaker, then these things start to come up, they'll be too late. And like you rightly mentioned, nobody can convince me or even you that the deputy speaker is a bubble or car park anywhere. No, that's a lie. You are on, like in the 51st, we had 34 committees. And the deputy speaker, Patrick Williams, young McCormick was a speaker, and Patrick Williams was the deputy speaker. He was an official on African committee. That is true. And besides that, you represent a district. I remember on one or two occasions, the deputy speaker, Patrick Williams, left the high table and went to his seat, the district he represented, and put forward issues. So nobody can convince me that it was a car back there. No. You leave that. And this is no witch hunting business. We will follow it to the letter. I'm not saying it because of any Rachel Cohn issue, but the right thing must be done, or else we all will regret tomorrow.
Okay.
So please verify what he said. I don't believe it. And besides that, even if he himself is not the one going to represent these places, he's a part of that entity on the 9th Street there. I don't know how they call it, but the law firm. So once we're a part of that law firm, the law firm is going to represent a particular entity. You are the one going to do it. You are the one doing it.
All right.
So no way you can dodge that. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's do a minute. Good morning.
Good morning. People up with you and Marka. Let me say good morning to the Liberian people. My name is Fred Joma, and I joined you this morning for the Marka Electoral Alliance office in District 2. Well, this morning I woke up reading a book titled The Harvest Russian, and that book, the author of that book is one friend who go to Obeshi. And there's friendly word to a legal society. So I shot this morning again. I will put on the president-elect, President Ibasola, to say more Marka, to see, because everything I have said, we appreciate it. But if you take also into consideration that every word is anything unless it is a company of action.
Okay, great. Good morning.
Good morning, people.
Morning, go ahead.
Let me say good morning to Marka. In the midst of all country first, my name is Joe Kamo. I joined you this morning from my comfort zone and also from the office of the Marketing Intellectual Alliance in my TV County. People with you, let you guys have said, we are calling on the president to see how best to negotiate with other political parties to the issue of this country. The affair of this country is one matter. Because for some of us, we just supported the Unity Party based on ideology. We saw the President as a progressive leader. There's a reason why we supported him. But now that we have won an election, we should be able to reconcile this country.
No man, we'll let it man till they see, man. The president. Yeah, don't give the puppy hard time, brother. Yeah. Yes, 0770-153-265. Let's see if I can pick another call on this line. Call will be live on the Breakfast Show 9:15. We'll bring our security expert this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jiro Miller. I'm calling from my comfort zone.
Jiro Miller.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Jiro. Okay. He's off the line. Anyway, football mail. They all Rajiv back to and full. Let's see if I can pick this caller online too. This person on the line. Good morning. Morning. Please be audible. Morning.
Good morning, brother. Let me say good morning to the peace loving people of Generation Number 3. My name is Bobby J. Gambio Jr. and I do join the conversation for my resident Generation Number 3. I listen to you and brother Marka's elaboration. I think that it is important that this topic be brought up in the morning so that the young people can listen to who their lawmaker wants to be their speaker in the face-to-face legislature. But the issue of the race of Honorable Francisco, I think it's a good man, but the issue of conflict of interest is one of the reasons of which that is hindering his speakership. And that is not also where what if it's we want a balanced legislature or the issue of conflict of interest is one of the significant issues that will make our speakers to be vibrant. We need a vibrant voice, and Mr. Cooper, we need to know us together.
Okay. We are urgent. Okay. Yes, good morning. Let's do a minute per call. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
You're speaking to Salif Karo Jr.
Okay.
I want to talk on the issue of the Library Rebuilding Party this morning. I'm the National Youth Chair of the Library Rebuilding Party. And I want to quote on this radio station at 15.1 of the Constitution of the Library Rebuilding Party. The power is invested in the EC, which is the executive committee of the party. The executive committee of the party have come together to suspend control use of your fees. You want to do a political game in your own favor as individual. There is the reason we have filed a complaint to the election commission and we are also taken to the court.
Okay. Y'all meet at the court today. 077. Let me see what do we have here for the next caller. Yes, keep putting your calls through this morning on the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. The heart and soul of Liberia. This is where national unity begins. Let's take at least some more calls. 0770-202-579. I'm trying to I really don't. Let me take Emma. Emma, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka, and good morning, O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Emmett Hammond and calling for taxing this morning. Marka, let me appreciate for the elaboration, but my concern how to do with the deputy speaker of press conference yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Marka, he can barely win this. He have a corner security when he kind of mobility or security is actually challenging. But a deputy speaker carried 27 vehicles. He can't less than 40,000 total population. Yeah, he get a kind of 15 kind of days will get each of them kind of one vehicle.
Now a friend and car. I ain't man one car. I ain't friend and car.
When a friend car, we say he came
to the south to vehicle. And I was thinking about it, I have one. But what my friend I said, until we wanted because the bureaucracy, if we level 12, it will help us. You see what happened authority today? I got the security, and no car to carry, I'm going to carry the police to JFK. And then I carry a big dispatch into PB, it will help the care more for to JFK to reduce the pressure in our PB. So one of my things I probably the devil speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you for making a point on the show this morning. Emmett Hammond, good morning.
Good morning, Marka. Let me say good morning to you. This has been the national movement here for penetration of fast. And I'm dumped to what they said that the speakership, those of you voting for the speakership should not be voted on. And there's the reason. It's just something rightly. He said, those that were voted 2023, is not because that they well in the drug issue more than other candidates. But it was treated to go on a political party ticket that was carrying a logo called rescue. But this is the issue. If you want to take any decision, not for certain district, then it means that you start the work on a rocky road and a bar road, and that we have no authority. This time around, we will not be waiting for stick here. We will not be waiting for 10,000 signatures to solid and get to all the cabinet bidding.
Okay, thank you. You made a point. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Good morning, Reverend Lake.
Thank you for taking my call. This is Dr. Lake, calling from District Number 1, Lake County. First, I'd like to say, I'd like to extend my condolences to the people who were victims of the explosion in Palm County. On the issue about the House Speaker, I'd like to make Liberia to understand this. Mr. Koti hit the nail on the head. You know, when you say, I don't represent anybody in the House, I don't represent this company, but my company does, well, who receives the check? Who shares the check? You know, it's just amazing to me that people will take Liberia for granted all the time. You can't occupy so many positions at the same time when the law specifies that completely. So I just want to say thank you. Keep bringing up these kind of things. And hopefully our country will see what's going on and we will change the dynamics of our nation. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Thank you. So maybe just one or two more.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. And let me say good morning to people on you. This is Eric Satilo, and I speak to you from District 3 Mosarado County this morning. Let me appreciate you guys for the conversation this morning. It is so sad waking up to the tragic news from all county to this morning. Even though death is the only guarantee we have while on earth, but I don't think our people deserve to die in shots of mystery out of poverty. That they are so red in peace, and the media family members also be counsel. To the issue of the speakership, please, 1 minute.
You don't have 1 minute, Chief.
Yeah. You're already finished counseling. Let leave that part. Yeah,
tomorrow you will speak. Good morning, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. This is Jones T. Senior calling from District 6.
Okay.
Chairman Emeritus of the United Party of District 6. For me, the situation with Fonatikova or Councilor Fonatikova is we should not take it lightly. In that the speakership is not a joke. The third man in command of a country, we should not take it lightly.
Okay.
If it is true that he have some conflict of interest, he should not be elected.
Okay.
I'm asking my District 6 representative or Ennis and all other representatives of Nima County, they should not vote for Nadikova.
Anyway, folks, we want to say thank you so much. Sports is coming up right here on the True Breakfast Show again. It was a side event in Bond County, District 6.
Yes, just in 15.
The way the people died.
Just in 15 seconds, I was really new. I was not myself last night in the newsroom because that incident was so terrifying. And I think lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of awareness. How can you see a tanker with petroleum products and you go in there to take gas from that tanker? Don't you? I mean, it's hard to say.
Some blaming it on the police or the tear gas, the fire that was part of the fire.
Well, I don't have any fact that there were tear gas over there on you. While we watched and saw, we will try to get more details from our incident. But I didn't even see police when we were watching the video. Even the guy who was doing the commentary, they not say, oh, there are police people here trying to stop the people. The people were there, standing there, people bringing drums, containers, buckets to come for fuel. Why do you do that? I mean, they put themselves at risk, and we regret the situation. I think they should serve as lessons. Anytime you see anything with petroleum product in such a condition, you will move far away. I think people should even start leaving immediately that thing fell from off the road.
And some of these vehicles, they're not even roadworthy. Yeah. This time, sometimes the whole traffic team, Marka, get frustrated. The chief of traffic, public safety, some of these trucks you see plying the street, they're not roadworthy. Yes. See some of them, no brake, no nothing, but yet they're still riding through all the traffic. Hey man, it's a very sad time.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go for sports right here on the True Breakfast Show in the midst of all country affairs. It's just that we all want a better leader for the speakership, for the deputy speakership. The deputy, one name I'm still saying popping up. For deputy speakership, most abilities so far. We're still yet to see another names popping up. And John Colley just sent me a message. John said he still will have the debate for the deputy. Do got debate. All right. 3 minutes down, 9 o'clock. Next week, the Liberia Football Association. A lot of things happening within the LFA. Politics have not entered into the LFA, Liberia Football Association, on the leadership of Mustafa Raji. Politics and football, they don't work together. Why the LFA? Monday will come over an exclusive featuring Liberia Football Association. Let's bring you sports this morning on the TBS. Naomi Tapia is pretty see there to fill us in with the word of sports this morning. Let's see if we can link up and say good morning to you, Naomi. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, everyone. The 37th dedication of the Liberia Football Association of the competitions management women has arrived in Sierra Leone. The delegation departed Monrovia early Monday for 2 friendlies in Panama, Sierra Leone. Liberia's women's and senior team will play Malima Queens in international friendlies on 27 December and 30 December. Meanwhile, March Commissioner Anthony Vincent Yeriga is expected to be laid to rest on December 31, 2023 in Lima County. Anthony Yeriga died on 7 December after treatment illness. According to the LFA, keeping for the deceased March Commissioner will take place in Supertown to Potro on 28 December. Orange and National Second Division Outfit Club Shakhtar FC has officially announced the arrival of former Cisco United and Patriots FC Chicago Gibson Freeman. Gibson penned a 3-year deal with the Harrisburg club that will see him with them until 2026. Freeman moved from Cisco United to Shakhtar FC on Friday, 26 December, a transfer fees of over 1,000 United States dollars, according to Top Team Sports. The second top-tier league club, Shakhtar FC, announced on its official Facebook page on December 25, 2023, that the Chicago has now joined the club. In a related development, Upper Women's League team Shakhtar Angels has secured the speaker of Francisco Howie joined the LFA Upper Women's Division on a 2-year deal after a successful spell with Angels, having won several league titles, including the FA Cup and Super Cup. She has featured for the women's national team in several international matches. And people say BFC Mountains is on the verge of landing another legend of Shakhtar FC. There's been rumors that ranking one counted club's admiration for legends that win an orange cup encounter at the technical center when host of the match Shakhtar defeated B Mountain on penalty shootout after 1-4 The Premier League will aim to get formal approval to make a funding offer to the English Football League early in the new year. Broad agreement has been reached over the amount to be offered. However, issues remain over where the money will come from. The bigger clubs are arguing for more equitable model than those lower down the table, who feel the richer members of the Premier League should shoulder the greatest burden. In addition, the top 5 clubs are still to sign off the financial conditions to be agreed with the EFL. It is felt different spending percentages should apply to clubs relegated out of the Premier League whose wage bills will be high, even though they will receive healthcare parachute payments. Some championship clubs are resistant to that plan given by extension. He allows those relegated clubs to spend a greater percentage of an already significantly higher turnover. Liverpool secured the title ambitions by going top of the Premier League thanks to a half-court victory at relegation Burnley. The club staff have only been beaten once this season and went player of Arsenal at the summit despite some wastefulness in front of goal. Rest got a start by netting after just 6 minutes as Darwin Núñez darted in a lofty finish on the edge of the box to end a run of 12 club games without goal. A wave of attacks for the Warriors was unrelenting and Cody Gakpo had a goal disallowed for Núñez foul on Charlie Taylor, was Salah rattled the crossbar all before half-time. And finally, Guardiola feels the job is done after Manchester City's recent success, but says he has no problem accepting criticism when his side is not winning. City lifted the FIFA Club World Cup last week, but have fifth in the Premier League so far this season. The triple winners are fifth in the table with me in hand and facing Everton in the league on Wednesday. Now we go to the shop, buy another book and start to write again. The Gola said on his side triple ball. City's triple of Premier League and of the Champions League last season was followed by the UEFA Super Cup in August. The Photos win against Brazilians in Saudi Arabia gave City the trophy of the calendar year, making them the first English club to achieve the feat. This season, they have reached the last season of the Champions League, where they will face Copenhagen with 2 games to spare and a 100% record. But heading into the basic league, Guardiola finds his hard on 34 points, 6 of the leaders Arsenal with 1 win in Premier League, 6 top flight games. That's all for now, sports.
That's it for sports. Yes, now that's it for sports.
As usual, that's it for sports.
That's it for sports. All right. The show is brought to you by Orange. Orange, continue recharging *143 once you already have the dollar in the phone. As you recharge, it will give you credits. It will give you 500 MB. Yes, the festive season for now is great. To the 31st of December. Yes, keep recharging with Orange, the biggest network. So I'm going to do this music, yeah? Yes, man. Yeah, man. Body there. We'll see it for you.
Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia.
And this song was requested by Councilor Tewoso Gongolo. I said, Council, this song is not for Nimba. He said, yes, just play it for me, man. And I see Emma coming through, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Badide, man. Badide. Yeah, so before we will link up with Emmett Waters, we want to speak with the owner of the tanker, yesterday, at least for 2 minutes. Then we'll link up Emmet.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, you follow right now. You can call the owner of that tanker that got blizzard with fire in Total District 6, Bond County. Yes. Let's see if I can connect with him right here quickly before we bring our guest in 2 minutes time. This is the Breakfast Show, 96.1. Good one to the folks in Sackley Pier, nearby 96.9. Always carrying the TBS. Odasho Kamu. Yeah, I need to put it up on your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, I need it.
You need it app. So as you dial the number, the phone name, appear.
Yeah. I know him. He's the CEO of God's Wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Odasho Kamu, you can call. So I'm trying to call you, and you're calling me back. So just hold on. I'll do the calling. Let me do the calling. Okay, he's calling away. Okay. Yes, this is the Breakfast Show. Dash on you live. At least we can take it for 2 minutes. Good morning. Yes.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone.
Okay, so you are the legitimate owner of the tank?
Yes, I'm the owner of the tanker that was involved in the accident yesterday in Toyota.
Okay, so what's the full story behind it? With that happened already.
And what were you carrying?
The tanker was carrying gasoline, 9,000 gallons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yesterday, about 3 o'clock, when the full, I received a call from the conductor of that tanker, Elijah Diamond, that the tanker was involved in the accident and it failed. So I asked him, anything happened to you and the driver? He said no. I said, what next? What happened to the gas? He said the gas is leaking one side, but it's not that much. So immediately, I contacted one of my friends who has a truck, 2,000 truck, they call him Musa Campbell. So he made the truck available for us to go and suck the product from the truck. So when we were pushing something like this, the next call I could receive is a fireplace on the truck. Everything is burning. They are asking, I said, what caused the fire? He said the glue was too much. People came to look the gas, and then other people were not finding ways to get it from the place they were leaking. So the other top of the tanker that was closed, they were busting it with iron. So the friction caused the fire. So because they said the glue was too much, that police were not able to control them. So even if you
that is true. We were watching it live too.
Yeah, we saw the video. So the tank failed. There was no explosion immediately until
after around 10 to 15 minutes.
2 hours.
Yeah, over 2 hours before it explode. Before that fire
What is the police saying to you? I mean, since the situation have occurred already.
Yes, I not heard from the police, but myself will make my way to Central anytime they want me. Anytime they want to hear from me, I will go there.
What does this mean for your company?
It is a great setback. It is a great setback because the cost of the products is a very huge cash. Even the cost of that truck I bought it brand new. They are not even going to go 1 year, I think about 9 months.
And people will place lives over these things.
Life, yeah, people have died.
There are reports that there are deaths and major injuries.
Yes, because I'm sure that, there will be a death because looking at the video yesterday, the kind of group of people that some of them were even claiming over the thing.
Have you received any detailed information as to how many persons got injured and number of deaths?
No, I not received any number. The only thing I saw on the front page Africa page this morning is CB Hospital got food and ambulance hauling people to JFK.
Okay. Yes. So lastly, again, the truck fell 2 hours later before the explosion.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, any final word from you as we take leave of you?
Yes, we just want to tell, listening audience that, it is a big step back to God's Wedding Incorporated. We just looking up to God at least so that we can be strong in this whole kind of situation and move on.
Okay. Yes, we'll definitely be in touch with you.
Even though I didn't hear you say much about the injuries and the reported deaths, you sound more focused about the products and the cost of the truck.
What really
myself, I didn't go on the scene. So, any other person I asked from total, they said they didn't really know the total.
Okay.
They didn't really know the total of people that left in the fire.
Okay. All right.
Concern of the people, of the people that left in the fire, because the one with the product and the truck that material things.
Was that vehicle insured? That truck, was it insured? Was it covered by insurance company?
What I used to do every 6 months. But all the documents say everything left in the truck, it got run. So I'm going to check the insurance company so that they can give me some of the piece of document I was there.
Okay.
Maybe they still up to current.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
You want to say your name appropriately for us?
Yes, I'm with Richard Opakano, CEO of God's Incorporated.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right, great. Yes, yes, Marka, it's all yours now to do this. Why are you trying to bring on Emmett Water?
With the help of Rich.
Be vibing to this music while I go for a coffee break.
Yeah, so again, welcome to the TBS here on Truth 96.1 FM. Like we indicated earlier, this morning we have been joined by Emmett Cooper. He is our guest from the US this morning on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. A couple of days or weeks ago, we had him here again when we talk about other security matters, and today again we are here to talk more. Emmett is currently, let me get this for you. Emmett is, I don't know whether we can get him through now. Yes, I think we can get him through now. He is our guest here this morning. He's a security expert. He works in the USA. He's currently the Stone Mountain Police Department Shift Commander. He's been serving that role since 2021. He has also worked in the U.S. Army. He has worked in fire service in the United States, as well as sheriff in the sheriff office as well. So this morning we're having live on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. Emmett, are you getting me?
I can get you loud and clear, Mike. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. So just click and rejoin. Ahmed, please. Let's have this. Please just click and rejoin. Please rejoin. Yes, and then we set it up. Please just as quickly as possible. Again, let's go back and take a bite of this song as we try to reconnect with Emmett here on the show.
Super hands in the bass.
Okay, we've been rejoined by Emmett Cooper here this morning on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. The last time we talked, and today again we're here to talk about country, talk about security. Good morning from where we are. How are you this morning, Emmett?
Good morning, Mr. Davis. I'm doing great. It's about 4:23 here in the state of Georgia.
Okay, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are getting you, but the sound is a little bit coming distorted. Are you getting me?
I can get you live and clear.
Okay. Yeah. So, how are you today?
Well, thank God I'm alive. It's another day in the U.S. Just past the holiday, so
Okay. It is great to have you connected here again. Let's talk more about Liberia and a lot more about security. Again, tell us a background. A lot of people are just joining us today, especially also on the live feed. So they want to know March, who is Emmett Cooper?
Mekapo is a young Liberian. I'm a former U.S. military lieutenant, former lieutenant with the sheriff office of Barrow County. Served as a firefighter and currently the police commander for the Snow Mountain Police Department. I have a master's in Homeland Security and Emergency Management, a master's in Homeland Security and a master's in Emergency Management, and a bachelor's in Criminal Justice with a concentration in Law Enforcement Management. I'm currently completing my PhD in Criminal Justice, a philosophy in Criminal Justice.
Okay. That is good. Work experience. Have you worked in Liberia before?
Yeah, not really in the government. I have been around Liberia and have done stuff in Liberia as far as training and private in a private entity.
Okay. So I want you to do a little bit of comparative analysis with the two sectors, especially looking at the Liberian security sector and that of the U.S., where you worked for some decades now.
No, that there is no actual comparison. You can't compare the U.S. Security sector with that of Liberia because this is an advanced country and Liberia is a third world country. Our security system needs a lot of work to be brought up to par to what we see here in the United States. And currently, um, the Liberia sector, there's no. I've been told there's no support, there's no budgets, there's no financing. You see officers and security people who are part of the government entity have to fend for themselves to get equipments and supplies and stuff to do their work. And there's no close comparison that we can actually look at this point to compare both Liberia and America. Yes, we talk about training. We may talk about re-vetting the security sector because of things that are lacking from the security system in Liberia, but there is no close analysis that I can bring at this point to compare. I know that the young men and women who are part of the security sector are willing to work, get out and do their work because you see it every morning. They on the street standing in the middle of traffic, trying to enforce the traffic law. But again, you really cannot make that kind of comparison because America is an advanced country and the allocation for funding is there for officers, and officer has the respect and the right to do what is necessary in the line of their duty as compared to that of Liberia. So I can't really analyze both Liberia and America, but I say that Liberia has a long way to go, a lot of work we need to put in to get our country's security, especially the police, the drug enforcement agency to part to where it needs to be to fully function and get rid of some of the drugs in the street. But before we go to that, I want to sympathize with the people of Bond County this morning, Totota. I always stop there whenever I'm going to my farm in Sawala and to eat those nice meat that they be selling. But it's very tragic what happened yesterday. It's lack of ignorance. It's lack of it's part of the poverty of people because there's no way in America that a gas tanker going to fall over. We should happen here all the time. And the first thing we do is sing safety. We try to eradicate and stop traffic flow from that location. And I just think that it's very saddening this morning. We're not going to shift any blame and focus on anything, but I mean, I don't know the full story of what happened, but I think it's very tragic of what happened with the citizens of Bond County this morning. I want to sympathize with them. As someone had mentioned about the police being present, I mean, I don't know what occurred, but I think there should have been scene safety and everybody should have gone at least about 1,000 feet away from that tanker. The minute police got on scene, they should have cleared that scene at least about 1,000 feet because it's always a possibility of a loose wire or fire spike or something that could occur, even if you don't see it immediately. But that's something that should have been taken care of immediately once the police got to the scene. They should have cleared that place at least about 1,000 to 1,500 feet.
until help arrived to take care and solve the situation. But back to the analysis portion, we cannot really analyze Liberia without the U.S. Security sector at this point, because there's a lot of work need to be done in the Liberian sector.
That is great. So, your experience when it comes to administration, not just serving in the army, not just serving at the sheriff's office, not just being a police officer. I mean, being an administrator. I mean, tell us your experience being an administrator.
Well, currently I preside over a 2.5 million training budget for my officers. I am the field training officer, field training commander. Also, I wear multiple hats. I'm also the emergency management coordinator for the city with that of the state, the county, and with the state and the county. So I wear multiple roles as far as training officers. So I take care of the administration portion of that aspect of my department in case of emergency, in case of situation that arise in the city, that I liaison with the state and that of the county to seek the help that is needed. At the same time, taking care of my officers, making sure they're getting the right training, field training. Every officer that comes into my department new officer has to go through a field training process, which normally can last 4 weeks to 12 weeks, and those officers become my responsibility to make sure that they are prepared to go out into the world of policing, to actually do physical policing, because sometimes people go to the police academy teaches you academic stuff, but once you come in the field, we have to examine you and make sure you are goal ready to actually go out and do your job, because as a police officer, you have so much right and so much power and ability that you can even take up to somebody's life in the process of doing your job, and we want to make sure that those officers are trained. So as far as the admin part, yes, I take care of most of the paperwork and making sure those officers are clear, taking care of the budget to make sure those officers are getting their training hours paid and the training that they need, that those hours are accounted for and they are getting paid, and those admins and institutions are providing those training are also paid. So as far as budget and the admin portion, those mount portion with counting the hours, making sure that their money is right, making sure that they're getting paid on time, and all of those other major stuff that we need to take care of. For a second.
How many men do you have in your command?
We are a 40-man police department, and basically, since I run the training program, so everybody falls in my purview, other than the chief and the deputy chief. But as far as all the other sergeants and all of the other commanders, they all fall under my purview because assignment is sometimes greater than rank.
Okay, but I want to talk more about Liberia. Looking at your experience and what you've been doing outside of the country, do you firstly have interest in coming back home to work?
Well, as far as coming back home is going to be a call to national duty, and I would not hesitate to jump on the wagon to come back and serve my country. Both my grandfathers served, both of my uncles served in the capacity in Liberia, both in the military, both in police, both in EPS, just name it. I have family members who are still serving, providing service from the time our grandfather has left, since he met his demise in the 1980 coup until now. They are still serving. So yes, it will be a proud and an honor to come back and keep that family name in the Liberian security sector, revamp that sector, and do the best that I can to bring the Liberian security sector back to the respectable purview of what it was in the 80s and the early 90s.
Okay.
So yes, I am willing to respond and come home to serve if I'm called upon.
So watching the security sector from afar, tell us what are some of the if I may say lapses, some of the challenges you see that you think, if giving an opportunity, I mean, you can improve on, for example.
Well, I'm not going to say from afar because I travel frequently to Liberia. My last stay in Liberia, I was there for 3 years, from 2018 to 2021. So I spent 3 years in the country, monitoring the security sector, looking at all of the issues the challenges that's faced by the officers on the street, to admin and to to the administration of the different security sector. We got a lot of stuff that need to be overhauled and fixed from the officers on the street, revamping training, getting those officers re-vetted in most of the agency. Most of the agency need to re-vet the officers. They need more training for officers. We need equipment. We need uniforms. We need up to the admin because there's misappropriation. There's lack of maintenance of equipment that comes in, and I can put my neck on the chopping board. There's no accountabilities for those equipments that's being put. You get a vehicle, and in a year time that vehicle looks like it's been on the road for the past 20 years. It's beat up, and so there's lack of management of the equipments that is already in the purview or in possession of those agency that is not being maintained properly. There's no proper maintenance of the equipment that are getting there. You can keep getting the equipment every year and it's not being maintained. There's no that you cannot be a surplus in that role. So there's a lot of work that need to be done. And how can we fix that? We got to go up. First thing we got to start with maintenance of what we already have. The agencies have to start with maintenance of what they already have, because if you can maintain what you had and you're adding on new equipment every year or every 2 years or whatever length of time that you are getting those equipment, if you can maintain, you're going to at some point have surplus. But if you get 10 pickups today and in 6 months, 5 of those pickups already ending up behind your department and they cannot be maintained, there's no then it defeats the purpose of having to keep purchasing the equipment, and those equipment are not being maintained and surplus. As far as the officers on the street, we need uniforms, they need equipment, they need to be able to go out and look presentable. Ethics and all of those have proud in the process of those officers when they get on the street, but we're not having none of those because I keep hearing that there is no budget, there is not enough fundings for the security sector. I think if you take 100 officers every year and fully equip those officers, in 6 years time you should be having at least about 600 officers that are fully equipped, fully ready, fully functional to do their job and enforce the laws of Liberia and trying to gain back that respect. But it's going to be a long haul, and the timetable is 1 to 3 years, and that can be a significant change in whatever security sector that whoever is appointed or whoever is given that position can do. My analysis and my timetable is 3 years to make a significant change based on whatever budget that those security sector are currently receiving from national government. And also, you got to be able to go out and talk to other people, international friends, international partners, call in places. I mean, if you have an international experience, you can always reach out and gather help from your international partners and friends. Liberia is a partner to so many countries, and they will always be willing to help. But first, the people have to see the trust of the leadership, see the trust of the people that are running those agencies to be able to provide those assistance. Because I heard someone saying that in order for you to catch the criminal, you got to hire a criminal, so that criminal can go catch a criminal, which is completely insane. I've never heard about it. I'll hire someone who's a drug dealer so he can go help me catch drug dealers. Someone who is a rogue to go catch someone who is a rogue. That is completely, perpetually insane, and it doesn't work. It's never going to work.
Yeah, okay. So as we talk, you try to keep making a little bit of adjustments so that we can continue to get the cracks we are getting in your voice. However, this question, I want to ask this question specifically in line with the Liberia National Police. The latest census conducted in Liberia put the population at about 5.2 million, and if a country of 5.2 million, if I ask you, in terms of size, what security force, especially police force, in terms of numbers and in terms of budget, is necessary to run an effective security service, especially police service to the country?
Well, the first thing, those are numbers that I cannot give you an exact number, but my estimate of what I've been told is that the Liberia National Police is about 2,500 to 3,000 men strong. I cannot give an actual figure because I don't know their capacity, how the expenditure work. So that's something that has to be analyzed. That's something that we have to sit and look at the numbers, look at the figures.
That's why I give you the population of the country. You think, strong men force I mean, how many you're talking about between 1,005 to? I know sometimes it's not ethical to disclose. I mean, security force for security reasons and all of that. But approximately, I mean, how many you think is necessary to effectively police the state?
As far as numbers per officer to citizen, that's estimating is supposed to be how they look at it from here is one officer to 1,000. But I mean, depending on, I mean, I can't really speak on that as far as Liberia. I know that the citizen, we have about 4 point something million or 5 million citizens. So you're looking at least 5,000 to 6,000 officers to be on the street to actually keep that number to where it's supposed to be.
So if you are a police boss, for example, what's the size of budget you would need to run an effective police force?
Can you hear me?
You got me?
Yeah, you coming in real low. Just give me a second.
Yeah, yes.
Well, don't worry. Can you hear me?
I'm getting you. Are you getting me now?
So you said as far as budget, well, I can't speak on the budget because there's a lot of things that go into budgeting as far as to get the cost and analysis.
You know, the reason I'm asking these questions is because Liberians here have always they've been yearning for an effective police force, or even at the level of the drugs enforcement agency, they want an effective force that will be proactive in delivering services to the people. They believe that there's increase in crimes, there's increase in illicit drugs activities in the country. So, I mean, to effectively run these sectors, I mean, it is important that, I mean, somebody can predict, I mean, we need maybe maybe $2-3 million, $20 million to run an effective police force or an effective drugs enforcement agent or agency.
Yeah, I do understand the question you're asking, but I can't speak on those figures because first I have to have the numbers of how many agents or officer is present and calculated about salaries for the 12 months, calculated about expenses, gas, equipments, and all of that. So I really cannot predict an actual number. I know currently someone stated the last time to me that the LMP budget is about 20 million, but doing the numbers, I mean, I really cannot speak on budget because I have to have the actual number and the data in front of me to actually project to speak on what the budget will be or what the budget should be.
Okay, the next question is that there's an issue of political interest over the time. Sometimes it has affected the work of some of these people. So, for example, you want to come and professionally run a police force or any security sector, but at the end of the day, because the reason I'm saying this, sometimes you hear people aligning police with the ruling party. For example, a couple of years or 12 years ago, we were hearing, Unity Party police. In the past time, you hear CDC police. So how can one run an independent and effective security sector with all these political influences?
Well, in order to do that, you as the head or the leader of a entity, you cannot be political. You cannot take side. You got to do your job fairly. There's always going to be accusations. There's always going to be yeah say and they say, but when you're running your agency and you're running it fairly, you run it without any cause for people to doubt and to think that you are taking side. If you're going to enforce the law, go ahead and enforce the law. Enforce the law across every aspect. It doesn't matter whether someone is from the party that you belongs to or someone is your friend, your sister, your mom, your brother. You enforce the law across the board. And that way, if someone is saying something, it's justifiable because you are doing your job, but not because, okay, this person is because this person is my brother, so I'm not going to arrest them. I'm going to give them a break. And then someone else commit the same crime, and you go, yes, of course, there's going to be some kind of a favoritism when people start to see you favoring one set of group or favoring certain people and favoring, yes, there's going to be need for people to come out and say stuff about political parties and say stuff about friendship and all of those things. But if you enforcing the law across the board, there's going to be people talking, but I mean, it is justifiable as far as alignment with party, and alignment with organizations that that cannot be a thing. That should be a thing of the past, because when you're doing the law enforcement, you got to keep neutral and you got to keep unbiased. So you can't be biased when you're doing law enforcement or doing the security sector. So that's what is causing people to say political party of UP or CDC, policing, of all of those things. But if you enforce the law, you enforce the law across the T. What's good for Peter is also good for Paul.
Okay, that's great. I have some more questions to ask, but let's talk about public safety. I think it is very important. Public safety and traffic control. These are two key things that I want you to comment on. How can that effectively be applied here in Liberia? There have always been criticism when it comes to these areas. To strengthen them, what are methods? What are strategies?
The first thing is we got to get working lights and street lights and traffic light that can automatically control. We don't automatically need an officer staying in the street, but now with people taking third lane and fourth lane, that's a huge traffic problem, because if you're going, as I stated earlier, if you're going to enforce the law across all sectors. There's no reason for people to be taking third lane if there's not a need. I mean, we understand that in the morning hours there's traffic flow coming into the city, but those are easy fakes that can be fixed, because if you're going to stop Peter, you should also be willing to stop Paul. Don't let Peter go and then you leave Paul to come and arrest Paul. When Peter passed, that means you gotta let Paul pass. So again, to go back to enforcing the law across all sector and not being allowing one person to commit the same crime and then catching the other person when the person commit the same crime. If you're gonna let people disobey the law, then you go ahead and let people disobey the law. If you're going to enforce the law, you gotta let people enforce the law. I understand those traffic officers' hands are tied. They may not have the backing and the support to enforce the law at times, but if you're going to stand with your officers and you say, okay, today there's going to be no turn lane, then there's going to be no turn lane across every aspect. And every vehicle that turn lane, you have to impound it. I don't care what the news going to say, and there where the respect come with the officer, because people come with, who I am. I don't want to know who you are. As far as it is when you violating the traffic law, it is what it is. You're going to get a ticket. You're going to get cited. Your car going to get impounded. Whatever decision that is made at that point is at the discretion of the officer who is there. And if I'm the leader of those officers, guess what? I'm going to stand with those officers all the way to wherever they want to take it, if the officer is doing his job. But we got to get those officers retrained.
Sometimes it sounds easy to say that. Most of the time, we even witness in the traffic, somebody will violate the rules, and when they are parked, they will just pick a call, place a call to someone, and then the next thing they will give the phone to the officer. You hear the officer saying, "Yes, sir." At the end of the day, that person
I understand that. I understand that aspect, and that's why I say it comes back from the head. Because if I stand with my officer and tell them, "Say you're enforcing the law," I don't care who is on the other side of the phone. If someone call you as the officer and say, I'm standing with the officer, because if the officer decide to park somewhere, you give the phone to somebody, I don't care who the person on the other side of the phone. Because the person, the officer should not be taking the phone from a citizen to talk to somebody on the first thing. I'm not going to tell the officer to take no phone call from anybody on the third line. If that person won't call you, that didn't get your number and call you. And by the time, if the officer make his decision, that decision is going to be stand by whoever the chief of that division or all the way up to the top. It shouldn't be, okay, someone take a phone call because somebody got a girlfriend, or somebody called him because it's their brother that got stopped. And the law should be enforced across all aspects. It doesn't matter who it is. And that person who's driving, who violated the law, should face the full consequence and bear the consequence. And after that, if the person won't help them, they can go pay the ticket. Write them the ticket, and that person won't be of good Samaritan, they can go ahead and pay the ticket. If my own mom violated the law, she's gonna get a ticket. I face the full consequence.
Well, that sounds good. Again, let me ask about this issue of drugs and substance abuse in Liberia. I mean, it is on a rise. People have been hoping, and in fact, during the course of this campaign, that was one of the message that people really preached. They said the young people are going into drugs, and the proliferation of ghettos, people bringing consignment of these illicit substances in country. You recall there was $100 million worth of cocaine seized in this country. I mean, what can be done to curtail, minimize this this thing, because it's a problem. Every day, young people are going into the ghetto. Young people are leaving schools and becoming disadvantaged. They're in the streets.
Well, speaking of drugs, we all know, and it has been said internationally, that Liberia have become the central point for, or the central hub for drug trafficking into the advanced country, because drugs coming into Liberia, however way it's coming in, but it is getting out of Liberia and getting into Europe, into America, Central America. The drugs is coming into Liberia and being sent out into different countries. And in order for it to get sent out, some have to stay in Liberia. So basically, the first thing we need to do is get those agents working. Because my statistics and what I've been told from people around in Liberia and my own view is that most of the drugs that's being put on the street is put there by the very agents who work for the Drug Enforcement Agency. It's no secret. It's all over that most of those agents got their own ghettos in different communities, and they're benefiting from it. So that way we call for re-vetting of the Drug Enforcement Agency, random drug testing. We should implement drug testing for those agents, whether be it monthly, be it weekly, be it randomly. Those things have to be enforced, because if someone is benefiting from it, they don't need to be in the DEA. They need to be kicked out. And what I've been told is most of those agents do benefit from drug proceed up to the top level. They are benefiting. All of those things need to be curtailed. The first thing got to start from the head. So if someone is in the Drug Enforcement Agency, as you said, $100 million worth of drug, walk away, unprosecuted. Someone had the hand in the cookie jar, and when people have the hand in the cookie jar, they really cannot function appropriately. So you need someone who's willing to function appropriately. You need someone who has the experience, who have the ability to say no, and who's willing to enforce the law across all spectrum and say no to corruption, because all of those drug things come from people putting their hands in the cookie jar to corruption. And if the person has the passion to do the job, there's money. There's money. All of those allies and all of those countries that's being affected by the drug trade that's being flown out of Liberia is willing to work and bring money and sustain the Drug Enforcement Agency. They're willing to spend so that they can help cocktail, because if we can cocktail it and cut it off from the head, all of those things going to come. But we cannot continue to keep drugs coming in the country and flying out with the very agents who are supposed to be enforcing the law, and they're not enforcing the law. So we're going to have a problem with the citizens and the young men. Sorry that we don't have a rehab program for some of these men to get out of the drug trade, but those are things that need to be implemented, and need to be implemented like now. Yesterday it should have been implemented, and it's not being implemented. But we need to have a re-vetting of the Drug Enforcement Agency, and even I'd rather have 500 good officers, good reliable working agents, than to have 1,000 agents that half of them is corrupt and selling drugs or using drugs. So that should be the first thing, that whoever appointed to the DEA, random drug testing, and all the agents need to be re-vetted, and those that go in the state need to be retrained and fully equipped to go out and do the job.
With that random drug testing you're talking about be done just with the agents of the LDA, or is it something that can expand to other sectors of government?
That's something that should expand to every security entity. First of all, everybody should be drug tested, and then random drug testing can occur. I mean, on a name-to-name basis, or like a lottery ticket. You pick today. We say, okay, every month we're going to pick about 10 names and do random drug testing on those 10 names. So you bet if you're not taking no drugs, you have nothing to worry about, because if your name come out, that means you're going to have to go and go pee in the cup. And nowadays with the drug testing, there's rapid drug tests. All we need is a little bit of urine, and shove a stick in there. Is going to tell us immediately, less than 30 seconds to a minute, and we got a result. So you don't have to go to a doctor to go get a drug test done. You can get a drug test done randomly and easy nowadays to get those things done. The strips is less than 50 cents.
Okay, that sounds good. Again, this one, when experts, fellow Liberians in the US and other places start to make opinions on issues in Liberia, you hear some people telling you, oh, they won't come and take our jobs. With that kind of inferior statements, oh, they want to come from the States, we are here doing this, they want to come and take our job. When you hear these kind of things, what do you say to them?
Well, the thing is, it's not a matter of taking your job, because if you solidify and you qualify and you're competent and you're doing the job, You shouldn't be afraid of someone coming and giving you analysis or giving opinion about the job that you're doing, because you should be willing to embrace that person so you can learn from that person, from that international experience, so that we can all grow the country. Because it's not about your job, it's about the country first, it's about Liberia first, it's about serving the citizens of Liberia, serving and making sure that those people can sleep sound at night and those people can move about freely. So if you are in a position and you're not functioning to the level of which you're supposed to function, then you don't need to be there. Because if you're afraid of someone coming to take your job, that means you are not qualified and you are incompetent of the job that you are doing. Because I would not be afraid of somebody coming who knows more than me. I'll be happy to embrace that person and keep them. But if you are sitting in a position, you say, oh, they won't gonna take my job, then there's definitely, Job is written in the Bible. Job said, whatever I fear the most have come upon me. So if you're thinking that someone's coming to take your job, then exactly, you don't need to be in that job. You need to be let go of that job so that someone more competent who have the competency can stay there and do the job and function. Because I mean, you're not functioning enough if you're afraid because you can't do your job properly.
So there are two forms of violence that is prevalent in Liberia. One is mob, and the other one is domestic. How do you respond to them?
Well, more violence are the results of people not trusting the security sector, because someone can commit a crime today, you carry them to the police station, and in a few hours, that person is right back in the community. And because the citizen is not trusting, there was a report, I don't know what, I sent you a copy of that report, that Liberia have become the most lawless country in the world. That's a negative report for the country. That's a negative report for investors. And all of those stem from people lacking trust in the security sector. Because if someone commit a crime today, and we take that person to the police station, and we come back in the community, and a few hours later, that person finished paying some money, and the person is right back in the community. What do you think is going to happen? That person is going to come back and stay more terror in the community. So if we're going to enforce the law, we first got to build back the confidence of the citizens in the law enforcement, in the security sector. And that comes from reinventing training and making sure those officers are up to par and getting the respect. There should be respect, there should be integrity, there should be professionalism, and we are getting none of those from the security sector at this point. Citizens do not trust the police, and because they don't trust the police, there's going to be more violence. As far as people who beat up on women and domestic violence, that should be a thing of the past. There should be nobody abusing the opposite sex for no reason at this point. And I see there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of movement for domestic violence law, and those laws has to be passed so it can be fully implemented. I see people calling. I had someone send me a link for protests against rape. All of those things should be things of the past, because if you have a functional law enforcement agency that can gather the evidence and push for prosecution, most of those things are going to be curtailed. But it all starts with the first phase, which is law enforcement, which is the arm for prosecution. They have to come up with those accurate reports, come up with those evidence, so that the prosecutors can go ahead and prosecute.
Okay, that's good. Some questions I didn't ask. Let's take a couple of calls. Let's see. Some people will raise concerns that you can answer. Let's see if we can take some calls from the public. 0770 202579 0770 202579. We have with us Emmett Cooper from the U.S. Speaking with us on security matters here. He is an expert. He's worked in the U.S. Army. He's also worked in fire service. He's currently police commander in Georgia. So let's see if we can speak with this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Marka. Good morning to our Benin and Liberian people.
Good morning. Emmett, are you getting the callers? Emmett?
Yes, I'm here.
You're getting them?
Not rolling.
Let me see. Walter, go ahead.
First, let me say thank you to the CMA in America with SOC. I'm very admiring with all we are seeing and the realities of all happening in Nigeria. Certain things they call it, the other one in the university called theory management. I think according to him in Nigeria, even then he established the task force in Mangi and during the same of Sakupo. So I think if the experience that he have and how all of people work along with him, like I think our police force will be very, 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 very good. Because don't let you just say police, they are very surprised. Most of the things they put in form of creating a problem. They are without a yellow t-shirt, also in the yes down the road, create traffic, who and took people things from there. And if I think they can experience this guy hard, and kind of apply it, and we as a citizen get our support to him, I think it will be very fine. So thank you very much for that opportunity.
Okay, thank you. I hope Emmett is getting the caller.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm loud and clear.
Okay, so let me take this one. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, Marka.
Good morning. Go ahead. You're
Yeah, it's me, Roger Matale from the Golden Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know the thing about the police here, the police are not proactive. And the reason why is that some of the advocating factor is from the government. The first and foremost, the police have to be real people. The police have overshadowed the entire activity that at the end of the day, the professional police will they can't even find themselves. But it is also true that the police themselves they are aware of the police aid. So they got to weed out the police aid from the system. Then you know who are the real issue. The second one here is that most of the police guys, they are all stay. They have to retire there and bring in new recruit. And the recruitment shouldn't be when it's business or I know you. Because the police area is a professional area. And you know, the police is a line of contact. But on the other hand, you see a lot of guys contributing to the police for some other reason, vetting to themselves and the rest of it. So we need a proper vetting. And when the vetting is done, we compare our police with the Labrador Army. The one that go after you get the calling on it, the army, not the police. The police are no more trusted. They cannot be trusted no more.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. And let me say good morning to Emma. This happened. Thank you very much. When it comes to the police, Marka, there are two more issues surrounding the police. One, the confidence, citizen confidence. The police have lost it what it past. Two, the police needs restructuring. Three, the publicity arm of the police, that is the PR of the police, is very full. Four, the police have been politicized. What's happening? Hurricane. Take, for example, if the ASS is recruiting, it will be publishing all the drug people, all the drug dealers, it will be all real estate. You see the recruitment based on how transparent. For the police, it is a secret path. You want to see the in green uniform.
Okay, you made it your point. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. How are you this morning?
Fine, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for the man on the other side there. I have a concern.
Okay.
How can you help us with this? I realized over the time that, for example, if there's a problem, let's take, for example, in Bapolu, you have to seek reinforcement from Morelia to get to Bapolu. What can you say about every country having a standby force to the police and other areas so that security will be controlled instead of relying on central?
Okay.
When it happens, Bapolu, they will handle it and then it goes to central.
Okay.
How can you help with that?
Okay, he will respond to that. Let me see this. Let me see this one. This caller right here. Let me take this person 0770202579. Let me see. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mark. My name is Alfred Chala. I'm calling from Liberia.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have a question, but I have a comment and a appreciation for Emmett Cooper. And I've been knowing Emmett Cooper for a little over 9 years now. And when I got to the States, in all of my security studies and career, it was Emmett that signed up to all of my documents. So exactly, I can vouch, yes, he's a very trained anti-terrorism police officer, military, homeland security, and just to name a few. He's a very, very good officer. He's a gentleman I know personally. He's signed to all of my homeland security documents.
Okay.
So it is true.
Okay, big brother Jala, thank you for joining us. This is your first time calling on my show. because Emmett is on, so your first time calling on my show. Okay, it was great having you. Emmett, let's respond to the callers. Somebody talk about standby force in other places because when serious issues happen, you have to send for police as far as Central.
Well, as far as standby force, that's why you have ERU and a PSU. Those are standby force. But as far as policing, every officer on those streets should be cross-trained and ready to respond to an incident, respond to a situation. But you have emergency response unit. Yes, they are.
That's what we're talking about. For them to also be in places like Bapolu, bombing, like
and yes,
counties.
I understand about the standby force, but If you got every officer trained, in America we don't have standby force. We got a SWAT team, and those SWAT only come out when there's an emergency situation, when someone is barricaded or someone. But every officer respond once you got the training. You should be able to respond to every incident that come out before standby force can come in, because standby force is not going to immediately respond, and it takes at least an hour to 2 hours. Even here in the U.S., it takes about an hour to 2 hours to get SWAT officer, and most of those SWAT officers have their personal and professional responsibility. Most of them are patrol officers, most of them are traffic officers, and once they're called upon to get into the SWAT mood, they already got the gear and everything, and they change up and head to that call to go and handle their situation. So as far as standby for, it comes back to training the police, because if the police is trained, we're not going to be waiting for a standby force, because if you got 20 officers in the county, those 20 officers can gear up and go and handle the situation until backup arrive. They should be able to start cocktailing the situation and handling the incident. But again, you got to get every officer trained. There shouldn't be no specialized person. I'm just a traffic officer, so you can't do nothing else. If you got every officer trained and get all the academy and they know what to do, their basic function, and equipped to do their job. If you have 20 officers in each county, those 20 officers are responsible for that county. And if there's more backup needed, yes, we will have them send ERU or PSU going to respond. But yes, you're going to have those officer training. You should have officers in every county that should be able to do the job, instead of waiting for a backup unit or a standby unit. Because you cannot afford those officers that are on standby should be on the street. They should be working. They should be patrolling and doing other functions. So we shouldn't just have a standby unit. There's nothing called standby unit. That you just pay someone to stand by. So if nothing happened all through the year, that means they just get paid for standing by. No, they should be able to function and do their work.
Somebody is concerned that the police officers are seeing in the day, but in the night they are sleeping and crimes are being committed across.
Yeah, and I understand the answer, because even I was in Labra less than 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I think I brought it up the last time we talked, that in the daytime you got all these cars running around with blue lights and siren going nowhere. They're running around with lights, taking turn lane and blowing siren, and like they're going somewhere. They're not going to no emergency call, maybe because they're just trying to get to work or they're trying to get to a place. But then in the night, there's no blue lights. And in the night is when you need more blue lights. I need more blue lights driving around the city so the criminals can know that the officers are up. In the day, everybody's standing on the road and trying to collect whatever they can collect and comb whoever they can comb. But in the night, that's nothing. You can see nothing.
You know Kumi, eh?
Yeah, I know about Kumi. I know about the cat one, the kid in one leg, the cat and all of that. I know all those terms because I live in the country and I know my way around, and I interact with officers in the streets.
Emmett, finally, this issue of police aid. Some people, they just around the police, they are not trained officers, but it's like police bar, just behind the officers, and in the end, there are many. You listen to some of the callers, they are even dominating now. They are everywhere. Some of them are wearing yellow shirt with police reading behind it. They are all around the streets. I mean, how can we?
The first thing, there is nothing in policing. There's nothing that is called police aid. That's the first I hear about it, and I hear about police aid. Now, if the person is good enough to put on something and assist the police, then send them to the academy. Yeah, we can have recruits. We can have them as possible officers, especially these young men that are becoming police aid and wanting to get into the police world. Yeah, take them and send them to the academy and fully train them so that we can start retiring some of these old people, these old officers who have overstayed their time. So we can take these young men who are police aid, because I showed that before they became aid, they may have gone through some background check, may have gone through some rigorous stuff, because you cannot just take anybody and say, okay, you're my police aid and put them.
I'm not sure of that.
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm just assuming that they have gone through some kind of a vetting before they make them police aid. But if they haven't gone through any vetting process, then let them apply. Those are possible police officers. We need new young officers who are vibrant and willing to do the job, so we can provide them the training necessary so they can come out and become the fresh face of the Labrador National Police or whatever security agency that they are aiding. So at this point, those young men that are police aid, I'm not going to say we should excommunicate them or terminate them, but if we need to build a vibrant police force, if those young men need to go through the academy, go through the training, so we can start retiring some of those people that need to be retired at this point. Those are going to be the young men, the young faces that's going to lead our police department into the 22nd century, or into the next century that we are going into. So we need those young men. If they are police aid, take them and vet them and send them to the academy. And if they're found worthy, yeah, we'll go ahead and provide a necessary training and even equip them to carry up the gun and enforce the laws of the country, as compared to just having them running around and running around the city doing nothing.
Okay. So in 1 minute, just give us your final words or parting comments.
Well, I just want to say to the Liberian citizens and those out there that, hey, y'all keep up the good work along with your law enforcement agency. If you see something, say something. Don't sit mute. And y'all got to stop building trust in your police force, because if something goes wrong, we want you arrest someone, take the person. Yes, the citizen arrest the person and turn it over to police, and stop becoming the judge and prosecutor at the same time. You can't do all three, because you yourself will be leading into crime. And if you're committing those kind of a crime, those aggravated crime that some of the videos are saying of people beating people and almost killing people because of the person committed a crime, you yourself going to be landing behind bars and being prosecuted. So stay tuned and let's all stay blessed.
Okay. Thank you so much again for joining us, Emmett Cooper, this morning on the TBS and Truth 96.1 FM from the USA. It has been a wonderful presentation here this morning. O.Roberts, Marka Davis. We hope to be here tomorrow again to bring you another edition of the program, The Truth Breakfast Show. Do have yourself a wonderful time. Rachel Lucining has been behind the camera, bringing us live on Real TV /True FM on Facebook. Bye-bye from our end.